Rain hit the windows like it was trying to break in. I sat on the couch scrolling through emails, mind half dead from the week. That's when my phone buzzed, not mine, Rachel's. She left it on the coffee table. I didn't mean to look. Can't wait to feel your hands again. Last night was crazy. My heart stopped. Babe, I called out, voice tight. You left your phone out here. She answered from the shower, cheerful. Just grab it, baby. I'll be out in a sec. I stared at the screen. The message wasn't for me. My name wasn't anywhere. Fingers shaking, I tapped it open. Just one thread, one name, Derek. My boss. My mentor. My friend. The chat was full of late-night photos, texts, voice notes. Her body in lingerie I never saw. Him calling her my secret. Her telling him she loved the way he takes control. I couldn't breathe. The water shut off. I quickly locked the phone and placed it back. She came out wrapped in a towel, smiling like she hadn't just set fire to my soul. Thanks, babe, she said, grabbing the phone. I forced a nod. No problem. You okay? She asked, drying her hair. You look pale. Tired, I muttered. Long week. She leaned over and kissed my cheek. I'll make tea. I watched her walk away. My wife, my partner for 7 years, and Derek, he gave me my first break. Hired me. Called me his best guy. They were in my house, in my life, laughing behind my back. I stood, up slowly. My legs didn't feel like mine. She hummed in the kitchen as if the world wasn't cracking under my feet. Rachel, I said quietly. She turned. Yeah, who's Derek to you? I kept my voice calm. Her eyes froze for a fraction of a second, then softened. Derek? Work Derek. It's just my husband's boss. I stared at her. Are you sleeping with him? Her mouth fell open. What? Answer me, Ethan, she said, stepping forward. Of course not. What kind of question is that? I saw the messages. Her lips trembled. What messages? Don't lie. I'm not lying, Ethan. Someone must have his name. The pictures, the texts. I told him last night. Was crazy. She froze. The room felt too small, the air thick. I trusted you, I said, voice cracking. I loved you, Rachel, too. She reached for me. Please. It was a mistake. It didn't mean a mistake. He's my boss. I didn't mean for it to happen. How many times? She hesitated. How many times? She looked down. I don't know, 5, 6. I laughed. Sick, broken sound. I gave you everything, I whispered. She was crying now. I was lonely. You were always at work for us, I shouted. To give us a life. I didn't plan this. He came on to me. I was weak. No, you were selfish. She sat on the floor, sobbing. Please, I still love you. I couldn't look at her anymore. I grabbed my jacket and stepped outside. Rain soaked me instantly. I stood there on the porch, heart hollow. Derek, of all people. They didn't just betray me. They humiliated me. I looked up at the sky and whispered, You're both going to regret this. I walked back in an hour later. It was on the couch, curled up, pretending to sleep. I said nothing. Went to the guest room, shut the door, sat in the dark. Everything was gone. My wife, my job, my trust. And somehow I still hadn't cried. Not yet. Morning, baby, Rachel said, placing a cup of coffee on the table like nothing had happened. I looked at her. Thanks. She leaned in, kissed my cheek. You were quiet last night? Everything okay? Stared into the cup. Just tired. You sure? Her voice was sweet. Too sweet. You tossed a lot in your sleep. Had a rough dream, she smiled. Sat across from me. Want to talk about it? I shook my head. Not really. She sipped her coffee, acting like she wasn't hiding a knife behind her smile. Well, guess what? I'm working from home today. Thought we could do dinner later. Just us. I nodded slowly. Sure. She stood and walked to the bedroom. Her perfume lingered in the air, same scent she wore on those pictures. I swallowed hard and stared at the table. At the office, The air felt colder than usual. I stepped off the elevator and forced a smile. "Ethan," Derek called from down the hall. "Man, I need you on this numbers review later. You're the only guy I trust to get it right." I clenched my teeth. Of course. He clapped me on the back. "That's why you're my right hand." I looked at him. "Yeah, right hand." He laughed and walked away. My hands curled into fists. I slipped into the HR office to update some files. Izzy looked up from her desk and smiled. "Hey, stranger." "Hey," I said, trying to sound normal. She tilted her head. "You okay?" "You look drained." "I'm fine." "You don't look fine." Forced a chuckle. "You're worse than my sister." "I just care," she said softly. "Did something happen?" "No," I lied. "Nothing worth talking about." She nodded slowly. "Well, if that ever changes, I'm here." I looked at her. Eyes were too kind. "Thanks, Izzy." That night, Rachel was humming in the kitchen, like we were some happy couple. She made pasta, lit candles, wore the red dress from our anniversary, like, she asked. I stared at her. Yeah. We ate mostly in silence. "Tomorrow," she said, "maybe we can take a day off together. Just relax. Maybe." She reached across the table. "I've missed you." I didn't respond. After dinner, she curled into me on the couch like she used to. I sat stiff. "You're quiet again," she whispered. "Work's been rough." She kissed my neck. "Let me help you unwind." "I'm tired," she pouted. "Okay, maybe tomorrow then." Hours later, she was asleep beside me, breathing softly. I stared at the ceiling. The sheets smelled like her perfume. That same damn scent. She moved closer in her sleep. Reaching for me, I didn't move. My eyes burned, but I didn't cry. Not yet. I just lay there in the dark, staring at nothing. "Planning. Double quotes, dude," Mason said. "Opening the door, you look like..." Hell, I walked past him into the loft. "Yeah, feels worse. You want a drink or something? Water? Whiskey? Whiskey?" He raised a brow. "It's noon." "Exactly." He poured 2 glasses and sat beside me on the couch. "All right. What happened?" Took the glass, stared into it, then downed the whole thing. "Rachel's cheating, what?" "With Derek." Mason blinked. "Your boss, Derek?" I nodded slowly. "Yeah." He leaned back, hand over his mouth. "Jesus, I saw the texts, the pictures, it's not new. It's been going on for a while." Mason said nothing, just refilled my glass. I confronted her. She cried, said it was a mistake. "And you believed her?" "No," he exhaled. "You want to punch a wall, hit the gym, burn something? I want to ruin them." "Now we're talking." I looked at him. "That startup of yours, is it real?" He smiled. "You think I've been bullshitting this whole time? I thought it was still in early stages. Come with me." He led me into his workspace screens. Everywhere, stacks of paperwork, whiteboards full of plans. We launched beta last month. Got 2 investors already. "I'm building something legit." I stared at the setup. "You did all this?" "Nights, weekends, every free hour. While you were stuck kissing ass at your firm, I built my exit." I laughed bitterly. "Yeah, well, kissing ass got me cheated on." He handed me a folder. "I was going to show you next week, but screw it. This is a steak package. If you want." I'll make room." "You're serious?" "Dead serious. You're smart, Ethan. You're better than those corporate clowns." I looked down at the offer, then back at him. "Why me?" "Because you're my brother. Always have been." Sat down, heart racing for a different reason now. This could be my way out." "No," Mason said. "This is your way up." Silence fell for a second. Then he said, "You know, this isn't Derek's first time, right?" I looked up. "What do you mean? You did this to James?" "James from finance?" "Yep. His wife." Same story. Same MO. Flirty emails. Late night. Meetings. Secret hotel receipts. No one said anything? HR buried it. Derek's a golden boy. Or was. I clenched my fists. He's been doing this for years. He gets off on it. The power, The secrecy, the control. My hands trembled. Mason leaned in. You're not just dealing with a cheater, man. You're dealing with a predator. I nodded slowly. It's time someone stopped him. He grinned. Now you're speaking my language. I stood up. I'm in. On the startup. All of it. You sure? I'm done playing nice. I want my life back, and then some. Mason clapped my shoulder. Let's burn the whole damn system down. Hey babe, Rachel said, linking her arm with mine. That sushi place you like has a reservation open. Friday night? I smiled like I meant it. Sounds great, she beamed. I'll wear that black dress you like. Perfect. Inside, I felt nothing. At work, Derek walked into my office like he owned the floor. Morning, champ. Big numbers on that last report. You're killing it. Just doing my part, I said. He leaned against my desk. Thinking of nominating you for that VP spot next? Quarter? Really? I forced a grin. That's huge. Of course, man. You're the best guy I've got. It's the best guy he's got while sleeping with my wife. Appreciate it, Derek. Really. Gave me a thumbs up and walked off. Opened my drawer and added another note to the file. Meeting with Rachel. 3:17 p.m. Left 5:42 p.m. Security cam footage requested. Later that day, I stopped by Grace's desk. She didn't look up. It's in your inbox. I nodded, thank you. You're not the first, she said quietly. I met her eyes. Just don't be like the last guy, she added. What happened to him? Quit. Moved across the country. Took his kids. I looked down. I'm not running. She slid a flash drive toward me, then end it properly. That night, Rachel laughed too loud at dinner. You've been so sweet lately. It feels like we're reconnecting. Yeah, I said. Feels that way. She reached across the table. I missed us. I took her hand. Me too. In the break room the next day, Izzy cornered me. You're scaring me. Sipped my coffee. Why? You smile too much now, but it's empty. I didn't answer. She stepped closer. Ethan, I don't know. What's going on? But it's fine, I said. I've got it under control. That's what people say before everything falls apart. I'm not falling, she lowered her voice. You know I'm here, right? I looked at her. Yeah, I know. Friday night, Rachel curled up beside me on the couch. You're different lately? Good different? She kissed my cheek. Very, I kissed her back. Lies tasted bitter. The next morning, I met Mason at his office. How's the act going? He asked. They believe every second of it. You're sure you want to keep doing this? It's the only way? He nodded. You got the footage? Everything. Meetings, calls, hotel entries. You've got enough to nuke him. Not yet. I want it airtight. He studied me. You're playing a dangerous game. I already lost everything. What else is there? A week later, I stayed late at the office. Z walked in as I packed up. You're always here now, she said. It's peaceful. She smiled sadly. You used to laugh, remember? That guy's gone! She stepped closer. I miss him. I didn't move. Her hand touched my arm. Ethan, Izzy. She leaned in. I turned my head. Silence. She stepped back. I'm sorry. It's not you, I said softly. I know. She left and I stood there alone, heart beating too. Fast. I wasn't ready. Not yet, Ethan. You got a minute? Derek asked, knocking on my door like he owned the building. I closed my laptop slowly. Sure, what's up? He stepped inside, grinning like we were best friends. Big news. Oh! He clapped his hands. I'm putting your name forward for VP next quarter. I blinked. Seriously? You've earned it? Your numbers, your work ethic? Nobody else even comes close. Wow, I don't know what to say. Say yes, he laughed. I already talked to Hawthorne. He's interested. I smiled. Then yeah. Yes, he leaned in. I knew I could count on you. I held his gaze. Always. He patted my shoulder and walked out. Fake smiles, fake praise. Every word. A cover for his guilt. That afternoon, I met with Mr. Hawthorne in his private office. He shut the door behind me, took the bait. I nodded. Hook, line, and ego. Hawthorne sighed. He thinks a promotion will shut you up. Doesn't know you already saw the videos. No. and I'd like to keep it that way until we're ready. Jake's working on syncing the timestamps now, I said. Grace sent the last batch of emails this morning. He walked to the window. I never liked that man. He's arrogant, loud, but he made us money, and now he's a liability. I sat down. You want him out quietly? I want him out cleanly. With proof, you'll get your VP spot, but only after we burn him. I can live with that. He smiled. Good. I like your patience. It's not patience, I said. Control. Later, in the break room, Jake handed me a USB. Security footage is all here, he said. Elevator, garage, even the third floor exit. Good work. He lowered his voice. Do they know yet? No, keep it that way. He nodded. You sure you want to keep pretending? I'm sure. You're colder than I thought. Man, I looked at him. You'd be cold too if your wife slept with your boss. He went quiet. Thanks for the help, I said. Stay invisible. Back at my desk, I opened the footage. There she was, Ricky, laughing in the elevator, fixing her lipstick. Then Derek stepped in. They kissed before the doors even closed. I paused the video, jaw clenched. Behind me, Grace entered silently. I hate watching it too. You sure you want to be involved in this? I asked. I should have spoken up years ago. Well, now's your chance. She dropped a folder on my desk. Expense reports. He used the company card. Room 364 times in 2 months. Perfect. Also, she added, he booked another room this weekend with her check-in. Rachel Cole, die. Closed my eyes for a second. Thank you, Grace. You're welcome, she said. Finish him. That night, Rachel curled into me on the couch. You've been glowing lately? Must be the promotion? She grinned. I'm so proud of you. Are you? I asked. Of course. I stared at the TV, my smile forced. Funny, Derek seemed pretty proud of you too. She froze. What? Nothing, I said quickly. Just thinking out loud. She laughed nervously. You're weird tonight. Yeah, I muttered. I get that a lot. She kissed my cheek and went to bed. I stayed on the couch, staring at the flash drive in my hand. One more week. Just one. Ethan. Rachel called from the kitchen. Did you use the last of the wine? I glanced at the half-empty bottle on the counter. It's still there? She poured herself a glass and joined me on the couch. You've been quiet lately. I'm fine. You sure? Yeah. She sipped and stared at the wall. You haven't touched me in 2 weeks. I kept my eyes on the TV. Just tired. She laughed, sharp, nervous. Tired. Right. You've never been this tired. Things change. She set her glass down harder than needed. Okay, what's going on? Nothing, I said. She stood by the bedroom door, arms crossed. Is there someone else? No. Then what is this? Her voice cracked. You're here but not really here. I told you. I'm tired. She stepped closer. Tired of me? I looked at her for a long moment. Should I be? She blinked. What does that mean? I stood up. Forget it. She pleaded. Please talk to me. I walked past her and shut the door to the guest room. The next morning, she was crying in the kitchen. You sent them to my mother, she whispered. I didn't even pretend to act confused. Did I? She called me a disgrace. She's not wrong. She looked up, eyes red. Why are you doing this? Doing what? Punishing me like this? I haven't even started. Later that day, Monica texted me. Can we talk? I met her at the corner cafe. She looked nervous, guilty. I'm sorry, she said, as soon as I sat down. What? For not telling you sooner? I knew. I knew for months, and you said nothing. I thought it was a fling, she whispered. I thought it'd stop. It didn't. I didn't want to be the one to blow up your marriage. Rachel did that on her own. Monica wiped her eyes. She's not okay. She wasn't okay when she cheated either. She's drinking every night. Barely sleeping, not my problem. She still loves you. She loved herself more. Monica sat back, defeated. What are you going to do? End it. On my terms. She nodded slowly. I deserve your anger too. You were her best friend. I still am. I stood up, then maybe help her pack. That night, Rachel sat on the edge of the bed. I'm scared, she whispered. Of what? You. This version of you. You're cold. I wonder why. She looked at me, tears streaking her face. Where did we go wrong? You went wrong when you climbed into his hotel bed. She covered her mouth, sobbing. I didn't mean to stop lying. I thought you didn't care anymore. I worked 80-hour weeks to give us everything. I was lonely. I was loyal. She reached for me. I made a mistake. I pulled back. No, Rachel, a mistake is forgetting an anniversary. You made choices. She collapsed into herself, shaking. For a moment, I just watched her. Part of me wanted to hold her, but I remembered the messages. The nights I couldn't sleep. The ache in my chest every time she smiled like nothing was wrong. I turned off the light. She cried beside me until she passed out. I didn't say a word. Ethan, Hawthorne said, motioning me into his office. Close the door, I did? What's going on? He leaned forward. I'm stepping down. What? You heard me? I'm done. Retirement. I need someone sharp, calm, and ruthless. Stayed silent. That's you, he said, effective immediately, your interim CEO. I blinked. Are you sure? You've already handled half the company in Derek's shadow. Time to cut the shadow out. I nodded, then I accept. Good. Board meets in an hour. I suggest you bring fire. In the boardroom, Derek strolled in like he owned it. What's this? He joked. Intervention. No, I said. Revelation. He chuckled. All right, let's hear it. I slid a folder across the table. Company funds, personal hotel stays, unauthorized expenses. He picked it up, flipping through the pages. This is nonsense. Grace pulled the receipts. Jake confirmed the timestamps. Are you serious? You've been stealing, covering it up with fake numbers, using our money to fund your side piece. The room went quiet. He looked around. You all believe this? They don't need to, I said. I do. And I'm your boss now. Your what? Hawthorne stepped down. I'm interim CEO. He stood. This is ridiculous. Leaned forward. Was she worth it? He froze. Rachel, I said. Was she worth losing everything? His jaw clenched. You're bluffing. I smiled. Checkmate. He looked around again. This is insane. Security will escort you out. I made this company. No, I said. You poisoned it. After the boardroom cleared, Jake caught up to me. You okay? I will be. He looked like he'd pass out. Let him. Grace joined us. He'll try to fight it. Let him try. You really didn't flinch, Jake said. I flinched months ago, I replied. Now I finish. My phone buzzed. Rachel, I stared at the screen. Buzzing again. I let it ring again. I turned the phone over. When I got home, up, candles lit, dinner on the table. Hey, she said softly. I made your favorite. I hung up my coat and sat. She placed the plate in front of me, trembling. I heard about Derek. I picked up my fork. They said, you're the CEO now. I took a bite. You didn't tell me. Kept chewing. I called you. I sipped my water, Ethan, she whispered. Please talk to me. Cut another piece. You can't ignore me forever. I raised my eyes. Watch me. Tears welled up. I made mistakes, but I never stopped loving you. Said nothing. She sat across from me, crying into her hands. I finished my food, stood, walked past her up the stairs. She didn't follow. Ethan. Please! She shouted, chasing after me as I walked past the kitchen. Please talk to me! I didn't stop. She grabbed my arm. Can't just ignore me forever. Funny, I said. That's exactly what you did when you crawled. Into his bed? That's not fair, no? I turned to her. Then tell me what is. I messed up, she whispered. I know that. Stop saying that like it spilled milk, I snapped. It wasn't a slip, Rachel. It was planned, repeated, hidden. I didn't mean to hurt you. You meant to lie, though. I was lonely. I laughed bitterly. You were bored. So you lit a match and burned down everything we built? She wiped her face. You don't understand, I do. I understand exactly who you are now. I love you, she said. Don't, I warned. I never stopped. You buried that love with every text, every photo, every shower you took while I cried on the couch. Her voice cracked. Ethan, I pulled out the papers from my bag. Sign them. She stared at them. What? Is this divorce? No, she said, shaking her head. No, you don't mean that. I laid the papers on the table. I do. She stepped back. You can't. You already did. She picked up the papers and ripped them down the middle. I didn't flinch. There are 5 more copies. You're serious, she breathed. I'm done. She dropped to her knees. Ethan, I swear I would do anything to fix this. There's nothing left to fix. We can start over. We already did. Twice. First time you lied. Second time you begged. This is the 3rd time. It's the last. She sobbed into her hands. I can't lose you. You already did. I turned for the door. Please don't leave. I paused. You remember our wedding vows? She nodded slowly. You promised forever. I meant it. No, I said. You meant it until it got hard. Till someone else made you feel important. You didn't want forever. You wanted convenience. That's not true. You want the truth? I asked. I loved you more than my own life. And you killed that love one lie at a time. She reached for me again. I stepped back. Don't. I'll change. It's too late. I left the torn papers on the table and walked out. Mason opened the door in sweats. Jesus, you look like hell. I didn't answer. Come in, man. You want a drink? No. Want food? No. He nodded. Just crash on the couch. I'll leave you alone. Thanks. Everything crash and burn. Worse. That night I lay staring at the ceiling, his apartment dark and silent. My chest felt hollow. I didn't cry for her. I cried for me. For the man I was before all this. Before lies replaced laughter. Before love became a weapon. I cried until I couldn't anymore. Then I closed my eyes and let the old me die. Big meeting tomorrow at 9, Grace said, placing a folder on my desk. I nodded without looking up. Thanks. You've been here since 6. I know. She hesitated. You should go home, Ethan. This is home now. She didn't argue. She just closed the door softly behind her. An hour later, I heard a knock again. Lighter, familiar. Come in, Izzy. Stepped inside. You look like a statue. I raised an eyebrow. That a compliment? No, you've got that cold marble thing going. Fits the room. She sat down without asking. Everyone says you're killing it. Everyone's wrong. You're the youngest CEO in company history. Yay me. She tilted her head. You sound miserable. I'm not miserable. I'm just efficient. No, she said. You're hollow. I looked away. I'm busy. You used to smile. I used to be stupid. You used to laugh. I used to trust people. Her voice softened. You used to care. Said, just not about what I used to. She studied me for a long second. I brought lunch. I'm not hungry. You haven't eaten all day. I'm not starving. She opened the bag anyway and pulled out 2 sandwiches. Izzy, eat. I took one, mostly to shut her up. We sat in silence for a few bites then. She said, you know what people say about you now? I smirked, that I'm ruthless, that you're untouchable, ice in your veins. Good, not really. Al, it keeps things clean. It keeps people away. Exactly, she leaned in. That's not who you are. You don't know who I am anymore. I knew the guy who brought donuts for the interns. He got cheated on. I knew the guy who cried at retirement speeches. He got humiliated. I knew the guy who gave second chances. He got burned. She frowned. So that's it? They changed you, and you let them. No, I said. They revealed me. The me that survives. Izzy stood up. You didn't win, Ethan. You just lost slower. I looked at her. Think I regret it? I think you feel it. I didn't answer. She walked to the door. Let me know when you want to be human again, alone again. I stared at the city skyline. Glass towers, cold light. Was this what I wanted? Power, respect, silence? I remembered Rachel's tears, Derek's stunned face. The boardroom frozen as I dropped the hammer. They'd ruined themselves. I just held up the mirror. Maybe that made me the villain, or maybe I just stopped playing hero. Hours passed. My reflection stared back at me in the dark glass. I barely recognized him. I leaned forward. Was it worth it? The silence said nothing, and yet it said everything. I can't believe you're on time, Izzy teased, sliding into the cafe booth. I smirked. New year, new habits. She raised her coffee. New heart. Not quite new, I said. Just repaired. She grinned. That's dangerously optimistic. I stirred my drink. Don't get used to it. I miss this, she said. What? My sarcasm. No. You, the real you. I sipped slowly. He's been in hiding. 6 months is a long cave. Had to rebuild. From the inside. She nodded. You look different, better or worse? Lighter? Like you dropped the weight. I did. She leaned in. Did it hurt? I smiled. Like hell, but worth it. I exhaled. Yeah, it was poison, Izzy. I drank it every day pretending it was coffee. She laughed. It's dark. It was. She touched my hand lightly. You're back now. Some version of me anyway. Still CEO for now. I raised an eyebrow. That a question or a hint? She shrugged. Maybe both. I chuckled. I'm not rushing anything. Good, she said. But don't freeze forever, I won't. I just like breathing again. She smiled. You know what I like? What? You're finally talking in full sentences again. Shocking, right? I was starting to think you'd lost your voice. Only misplaced it. She took a long sip. Rachel called me. I blinked. Really? She said she's sorry? Asked if you're okay? I leaned back. She moved right. Yeah. Left the city. Started over. Good for her. You're not angry. Not anymore. Wow. Izzy. It's like her name doesn't echo in my head anymore. It's just a name. She nodded slowly. And Derek? Gone. Blacklisted. No one touches him now. You burned them both. No, I said. They burned themselves. I just stopped shielding them. She looked at me for a long time. You've grown, Ethan. I had to. Will you ever trust again? I smiled. I already do. Oh, I trust myself. She grinned. That's a start. Finished our coffee in silence. The good kind.
Outside.
The breeze was cool. I walked her to her car. I'm glad we did this, she said. Me too, she hesitated. So, same time next week? I paused. Yeah, why not? She smiled, waved, and drove off. I walked the rest of the way home. The streets felt different, less heavy. No ghosts, no shadows. Just me, just now. The corner I stopped, looked up at the sky. I survived. I whispered. My chest lifted. I rose. And then, with a quiet smile, I told myself, I'll never fall like that again.